All right, thank you for joining me for Black Ink Crew Season 6, Episode 3. Now, this episode, even though it's just Episode 3, this episode was very lit. They spent a lot of time getting right to the nitty-gritty of what we've been seeing on, in other episodes on this particular episode. And so, wow. Okay. But anyway, so it starts off with the group talking about the fight that Donna just had with Maxie, who is Maxwell's sister. She was recalling the incident. She said that she saw a fat redhead Dominican come towards her. And when she asked to go outside, the entire party followed them outside to the back. She said that she pulled the Duchess and pulled the mace out of her panties. And they all joked like, okay, when Donna has on panties, and of course they had to screenshot her panties, or I had to screenshot her panties, child. But they had to show her panties for me to screenshot. Okay. Anyway, but they're like, anytime she wears panties, it gotta be for something, because she don't wear no panty drawers. It was a funny joke or whatever. Mel was saying that her vagina saved the day because Melanie is having them IRS issues, and I'm pretty sure she ain't got no reason to smile at home, okay? So this girl Jada walks in. Now, if you don't remember this girl Jada in the last episode, Walt thought he was hiring somebody. So he starts trying to convince them that she should be the receptionist. She knows how to work a cell phone. So why wouldn't she know how to be a receptionist? All this stuff like that. So Melanie eventually agrees to it, and she tells this girl, you're ready to start today. So they start taking a walk through the shop, and then all of a sudden Melanie is like, we need some paper towels and stuff. So she goes out to get paper towels. No money. I don't know what. I know she didn't give her no money. So I don't know what her thing was with that. She just walked out the shop, and then Melanie proceeded to lock her out. Everybody was calling her wrong and all kind of stuff. And she was like, I'm sorry, Walt. I do the hiring. Okay, Melanie. I see you bossing up. Not really, but just for that moment. Anyway, Caesar was at Dr. Fish's office, and he was getting the results of his STD tests. He was like worried. The doctor began to like go down this list of tests that they did for him, like gonorrhea, syphilis. He didn't say syphilis. He said some other ones. Donna was like, what they anyway. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So he starts going down this list of testing for what he tested for, and then he does this big sigh, and then C's like, what are you sighing for? And he's like, you do have an STD. And then C's actually thinks that this is going to ruin his career. He's like, wow, I work around people's blood all day. This is probably going to ruin me. And he's like, calm down. It's like a UTI. Okay, that's called a urinary tract infection. So C's actually was so freaked out by the UTI, child, that he said he was going to change his life. He was going to make life changes. He came out there talking to Walter and being all serious, and then it ended up a joke. I don't know. They too damn. I don't know whether these young men are joking or serious when it comes to certain things. All I know is Walter was laughing at his butt. Okay. Now Sky is on her way to see her kids. She's at the airport. Her kids' adopted mom's name is Candace, and they have a sister Leanne, and she hopes that Candace will allow her to meet her boys without incident, with no interruptions. She's very happy. Her kids' names are Deciles. I want to say Deciles. I'm sorry, Deciles, because they call them Des, and Genesis. Now, she's been dreaming of this moment for a long time. She's definitely nervous. Like I said, she hopes she can meet the boys. She had this fairy tale in her mind of how she would meet her children. But after seeing an interview that Genesis did in Duchess's shop, she's just not sure. So she gets the gusto to actually go knock on this door, walk up to the door, knock on the door, but she did it nervously. But she definitely had to build her confidence up first. So Candace did answer the door for her, by the way. And they just did this really big embrace. It was really beautiful. She gave Sky, okay, at this moment, they were like crying. I was crying. they were read. It was one of those moments where it really touched my heart for Sky, because she came a long way. She's making a big effort. And at this point, that's all she can do is make her effort. What more can you ask her for? What's already lost is lost. All she can do is right now make an effort from right now. So I decided to slow down the screenshots for you guys on this part so you guys can get a chance to see what it was that she was looking at. But if you look behind her, you'll see a lot of trophies, a lot of medals in this room. That's her kids' room. They have the little family pet. They have pictures of them hanging up everywhere. She was really recalling lots of memories that she had about them, and she was in disbelief about things that she missed. She hasn't seen them since they were 5 and 3 years old, and now they are 17 and 19 years old. And so she goes, just showing them beautiful memories. And I really was feeling this moment for Sky. I really was. She's showing them around the house. She shows them the dinner table, and Candace asks her if she wants to sit down in Des' spot. So Sky is saying that she's happy that they were raised in a house where they lived a stable life. That's all she wanted for them. They talk about how Des has pool parties outside, how he's like the pool boy with a lot of friends. He got mad friends. This is the sister right here, Leanne. And Sky is just like father, like mother, like son. She sits down. She asks if she's gonna be able to meet the kids. So Candace definitely wants her to meet the kids, and she says Des is not gonna have any problem meeting you, but Genesis, she hasn't seen him since July. And Alton, who is the biological father, came back. He showed up and started promising Genesis a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden Genesis changed for the worse, and he hasn't gotten better from there. And she told Sky that when he left that house, he loved her, and that he knew that she did the best thing for them. And Sky was just like, does he really know that? She knows that Sky did the right thing, even though Genesis is hurt. Sky still feels like she's doing the right thing, and she did the right thing. So she wants to know how she can make it right, what she can do to, set him up on the right path from now on. And Candace just says that, she wants Candace to set up a meeting with her. And Candace just says that she thinks that they should meet face to face. They should talk alone, and that would be a better scenario. So I think that as well. Without cameras and everything else, mind you. Anyway, so Caesar is drinking lemon and cucumber water, and the group starts questioning him on what happened. This is when Donna starts going into what the doctor tell you, because he starts telling them, okay, well, the doctor told me something about, my insides and all that. And she like, what is it? Thoughtorrhea, thoughtfulness, thoughtitis, strep thought, all of that stuff. I thought that was funny. Anyway, he decides to tell them what happened at the doctor. He has a little STD, and he wants to put himself back in order. He's thinking about deading the beef with his baby mama. Now, Ted is like, what? This woman done got you arrested, put you on child support, put you in jail 1,000 times. What is going on? And also, mind you, she kicked him in the balls. Okay. So as he's saying that, Lalo comes in with flowers, honey. He wants to surprise Melanie. So he tells her, hey, honey, let's go outside. So she goes outside. He's like all romantic with it. This fool drives up in a Riata, mobile home with the taco, with the fruit truck horn, like that is classic fruit truck horn. Okay. So the staff starts calling it a taco truck. Donna says it's a meth lab truck. And he's saying that he wants to sublease their apartment to other people so that they can live in the RV, so they can catch up on that $30,000 IRS payment that they have. He's basically convincing her that it's going to be an amazing adventure. He's showing her around the RV, and she feels like it's disgusting, like she did not come here to become trailer trash, but she's like, let me check it out. And that is that. What I think about that, girlfriend. Now, there are people right now on Instagram that are questioning Melody about whether or not she did this just for the show, because the pictures that she's posting are not from this RV. But if she did do it, just, so the government, just in case the government was watching, child, more power to you. I wouldn't want him on my back either. All right, now Sky is nervous about her son, honey, as he is on his way home from the football practice. So he walks in, honey, okay? This child is excited, and they literally embrace in such a tight, warm embrace that everybody in the room starts crying. Sky starts comparing his face to her face. She talking about his nose. She talking about his mustache, his birthmark, his ears. She talking about how they got this and that alike. Mind you, Allison has been here with her the whole time, because recently on IG she posted a picture of her and Allison, and she talked about how she needs her love from Allison because that's her friend who has always been there for her. So I don't want to leave Allison out because I know I haven't really said much about her, but that's Sky's real life friend just as much as Caesar is, and so Allison was there to support her. So anyway, Sky asks if they can go outside because she wants to talk to him one-on-one. She asks him if he's been happy, if she basically starts crying, starts apologizing to him, and she's feeling like she knows what abandonment feels like. She doesn't like that feeling, so she wants to be consistent with him from now on. And he says he knows that she was young and it's hard to give up your kids, and he's like, look where I am now. And that's what I'm talking about. He came with the maturity on her, okay, at 17. So that makes Sky happy because she's been wanting to tell him these things for years. She's grateful that he's allowing her back into his life. She feels genuine love. And so from there, after they do all that, they hug, and then they get to playing football on the yard. Okay? And I thought that was a really good memory that she shared with her son. So anyway, they questioned Mel. The staff is questioning Mel about the RV. Now, she lying her butt off, telling them that it was a romantic gesture and they spent the night in it, okay? While she's saying that, the vagina slayer walks in. All right. Now, he does do this tattoo, and of course, the whole shop is waiting on him to do the tattoo after his tattoo gun broke down last week. But unfortunately, C's did not think this tattoo was amazing, and neither did Melanie. As a matter of fact, Melanie said that she hated it. She said it's too close and it's definitely touching another tattoo. She calls it weak. She said the shading is terrible and the lines are all jacked up. Okay. So Caesar decides to check it out. After he checks out the tattoo, he decides that he wants this young man to be an apprentice. Mel has a problem with that. She's upset because she's like, I have one butt to wipe at home. I don't want to wipe another man's butt. And so Donna is like, well, maybe if you can't make a hire and standby, and maybe Walter should run the shop. Now, that was the first inkling that Mel should have got, that her and Donna gonna get into a fight this season. But I think that went right over that child head. Okay, so anyway, Walter was happy that Donna said that, and a vagina slayer is happy that he gets a chance to, be in the shop. Now, anyways, in the next scene, Sky is at Dez's game. She's excited. She's cheering. She's happy because people are wearing number 58, which is her son's number. She yelling at people, yeah, that's my son's number 58. All of that. She notices all the girls with 58 on their face. There's a young lady who actually walked up to Dez while he was on the football field, and she was like, how do you handle that? This young lady here in a black jacket with the white stripes walked up on her son. She asked his adopted mom, how do you handle that? They both laughed that off, but she was acting definitely like a protective mother. It was really cute to see. She went and saw him on the field. She was a proud football mom that day, and he was a proud football son. I think they did really good. She thanks Candace, and then they decide to try to call Genesis one more time because they haven't been able to get in touch with Genesis. Now, this time, Genesis does answer the phone, but he basically says, when she asks him, does he want to meet his mother? He says, no, he doesn't. And then she tries to convince him, like, you're really missing out on a lot. She came out here to love you. She's just one more person who loves you, things of that nature. And Genesis is basically like, I gotta go. He hangs up the phone in her face. And they walk off hand in hand, but Sky is trying to bask in what's going on with her and Des, and that's all she could do is look at what's going on with her and Desalise and be happy about that. At this point, everything that's gone is already behind her. There's nothing she could do about it. And I swear, like, I be wanting to cry for Sky, and I also be wanting to cry for her kids, because I actually do know how Genesis feels as well. It's just really sad. But so anyway, Caesar is practicing how to apologize to his baby mama, honey. Okay, he said he wasn't kidding when he said he's a changed man and he wants to better his relationship with his BM. So they start screams, going back on all the times that they were talking foul to each other. She comes in and they barely could even dap each other. It just was awkward. So he tells her to talk first, and she's like, well, you invited me here, so you got something to say. You talk to me. So he starts by saying that he wants them to be cool because they're stuck with each other for the rest of their lives. They should be able to put the past in the past, and maybe they'll be able to get something done. She tells him that she's waiting for the 3 words, and he's like, huh? What 3 words? I love you? Oh, those 3 words. And then he says, I'm sorry, Crystal. She says, for what? He says, for everything, because it's a long laundry list. His daughter is 13, and she needs her father now more than ever. So she decides that she wants to lay down some stipulations. The first one is to stop cussing in front of her daughter, and the second one is to stop calling her his baby's mother. She's the mother of their child, and he should respect her. And then she starts going in with these other rules. Okay, I'm glad, let me say this, I'm glad that Caesar made up with his baby's mother. You want to be there for your kids, and I think that Sky's situation maybe motivated him to do better, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy that these people are finally getting the fact that you have kids and you take care of them. It's not just like you make a child and walk away. That's sorry stuff. So all right, Sky is waiting on her son with Allison in tow, of course, and she is very nervous, rubbing her hands together. Allison is just telling her, just calm down, it's cool, it's gonna be all right, stuff like that. So her son walks in and she's like, this is the first time I have laid eyes on him in 15 years. She wants her son to hear why she gave him up for adoption from her own mouth. Okay, as he sits down, he barely even looks at her. She's like, look at me, look at me. You can see that he's crying on the inside. Okay, he's not letting it come out, but this young man is hurt. She's crying on the outside. All right, he must have mentioned something behind the scenes about TV and how she getting money, and he left them high and dry or something, because she starts pleading with him and talking about, before I got this TV show, I was working at Macy's when I first started this show. They wasn't breaking me off nothing. I didn't really have no real ass life, is what she said. And when she said that, he got up and he smacked her purse off the table. She took like 2 or 3 grabs towards him, and then security started fighting with him, or he started fighting with security. Meanwhile, another security is dragging her out the shop. Her son is so upset. And meanwhile, his father is there. No wonder he was acting a fool. That's not talking alone if his father is there, because there's dad is right behind him. But her son is so upset that he has his shirt off. He's stumping in the middle of the street, and Sky is in disbelief and cannot believe it. Okay, the way that she looked, the look on her face, she looked so hurt. I was so hurt for her and him. I cannot believe that this scene went that way, because I just thought that it was going to go a lot differently. I was hoping that they would be able to work it out, and I still am hoping that they're able to work it out, but we don't know where they are today. I'm pretty sure we will soon see as the episodes keep rolling out, but I'm glad that Sky put in her best effort to do the very best that she can in regards to her children. As far as C's, he needs to get his personal life together. You can have your professional life together, or so you think, but if you ain't bringing your personal life together, then you're not going full circle, and that is in regards to your spiritual and everything else. Now, this lady Candace, I do believe that she's an angel, and I do believe that she is very sweet to work on Sky's behalf like this, to reunite her with her kids. I really did like what I saw out of her in this episode, regardless of what she had to do to raise those kids. You know, she might have had to been a B word sometimes. That is what it is. I think Donna in this season, she has a lot more say than she's ever had, and she's really expressing that throughout these episodes, honey, putting her little 2 cents in, okay? And I don't know about Mel as a shop manager. I just don't see it, the leadership skills. I know Melanie likes to think that she has leadership skills like we all do, but I don't see the leadership skills in her, especially with the way that she's handling the Vagina Slayer, which is somebody that she chose to have come in, and the way that she chose to handle the girl Jada when she escorted her out. I thought it was very unprofessional. I didn't like it at all. Lalo, I think he has a better head on his shoulders than your girl Melanie, because he's the one making the moves to settle her debt while she is going to be getting accused of stealing $10,000 out of the shop. There's a reason why people are looking at her like that, and that's because she has poor leadership skills. If she was doing something different, then she definitely would not have to worry about people looking at her in a manner where she stole something. Now, the son, Desalise, I feel like he's doing a great job. Very mature young man, and Sky is lucky to have him as a son. As far as Genesis, I really hope that he can, you know, his father can back up all the stuff that he started. In the meantime, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.